Welcome to Always Analog, where we celebrate the beauty of analog technology in a digital world. Well, hello everybody. We're going to look at some pencils today, and let's just file it under everything old is new again. And this is the latest incarnation of the famous Mongol pencil, and it's been kind of marketed a bit online. I've seen things for it, ads for it, promotions for it, and so of course it's like I had to try it. I found these on Amazon, which is where I bought them, and I wanted to, just take a look at them because Mongol has been such an iconic pencil model or brand with various ownerships over the years. And the only place that I believe it was being made recently, I thought, was either somewhere in South America or the Philippines. And it was branded by Papermate, and so this is a sort of return to sort of a American but not quite American version of the Mongol pencil. So let's take a look at it. So we'll start with the packaging, which is sort of striking, I think. Certainly plays on the yellow and black here. Nicely done. A dozen pencils in a box, and you can see it has a die cut here with the pencils sort of spaced out, the actual pencils through the die cut. And here's what you get. There's an image of the Mongol here, and Incense Cedar. They make a big deal out of that. These come pre-sharpened, 12, 2HB. Not sure if you can see that little seal at the bottom here. Certified grown in the USA, and what's being grown is the cedar wood that these pencils are made of. So there's the side, and we'll get to the back here. And it says Incense Cedar pencils, the quintessential pencil since 1900. Now here you see another side of the pencil where it says Incense Cedar. The story of the Mongol. The Mongol is back, revived by the Berolzheimer family, whose pencil-making legacy spans over 150 years. I think if you see the barrel there, and we certainly know of that brand. Made from premium-grown USA incense cedar for smooth and reliable sharpening, and featuring a strong yet silky European graphite core. The Mongol delivers a writing experience unlike any other. The Mongol's rounded profile and classic size rest comfortably in the hand, helping to reduce fatigue, while the high-quality eraser removes marks cleanly and easily. Every component is thoughtfully sourced from around the world, not for the lowest costs, but to meet the highest standards of performance and quality. Want to say this dozen pencils was about $8 or $9. I don't remember. So just in terms of, they talk about cost, so that's what the retail was on these, as I recall. You go to Amazon and check it. So I think it's interesting that the graphite is European, where a lot of graphites are coming out of India, coming out of China, but here they're using European graphite, they're using American wood, certified grown in the USA, then and made from the finest imported and domestic components. Then here, I thought this was interesting. It is legend the Mongol pencil is named after Puree Mongol, the favorite soup of pencil baron John Eberhard Faber. Okay, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I know of Puree Mongol, as some of you know. I have a cooking channel, and I certainly am a foodie. And Campbell's soup, early on, like in the teens and 20s, when canned soup was like, you know, the latest and greatest thing, promoted mixing pea soup and another soup together to create Puree Mongol. Gosh, I can't remember what the second soup is now. But it basically got you to use 2 cans of soup instead of 1. And, but whether Mr. Faber loved Puree Mongol or not, and named a pencil after a soup seems interesting, but who knows? Okay, we'll have to research that. Now here, you can see copyright date 2025, Cedar Alliance Limited, Henderson, Nevada. So that's the company that's sort of behind putting these out. Then we see the pencils are manufactured in Vietnam. So, European core, American cedar, made in Asia, in Vietnam. So yeah, this is an international pencil to be sure. They have a website, mongolpencil.com. You can go there and get more information about this pencil. And, you know, all of this information is interesting and curious, but at the end of the day, it kind of comes down to the pencil, doesn't it, folks? So, again, this is pre-sharpened here. I've got a little sticker tab down at the bottom. So, oh, and at the top. So, of course, do I have a pair of scissors? Let's see. Let's see if we can just get this opened. I'm curious here. And get to these pencils. All right. Now, looky here. They've got a little piece of foam there, which I'm going to bring out. And you know what? That's a nice touch. And what does this do? It prevents the tips of the pencils, because these are sharpened, from chipping in shipment as this thing gets jiggled around a million times. So it kind of softens the impact. And I might also say, I don't know if I can, let's get a light in here. Whoop, I'm sorry. All right. Let's see if we can get a little better sense of the pencils themselves. You know, when they pre-sharpen a pencil, it makes it a little more difficult, for me anyways, to determine how well centered the cores are. But you'll see how they package. You've got 8 pencils here, kind of next to each other. But these pencils, which appear in the die cut, actually are in a, they're spaced out, and the packaging allows them to be not together. So that you kind of get this look. So that's interesting. So here, okay, let me get in focus here. Here I'm pulling out some pencils. There they are. So here's one. We're going to take a look at this thing. There it is, folks. With that famous, I would say, ferrule, the Mongol ferrule, black with a wide gold band. Mongol, number 2. Nothing else on here in terms of manufacturer, brand, anything else. And then on the reverse hex side, there is Incense Cedar. Again, just in black. Here's our tip. I would say probably slightly better than average factory sharpen in terms of the point that they give you. The wood looks nice. The paint job is fairly nice. There's a few coats of paint on here. It's well covered. There's no runs. There's no thin spots. We can see that the ferrule looks fairly well attached. There's no splintering here on the seam. I will say the ferrule is crimped on. I'd rather it be glued on. I think that's a nicer look, but that's just me. And then we have a bright and soft and pliable pink eraser, as I would expect it to be. These are fairly new pencils, so the eraser should not be dried out at all. And there it is. Now, I'm going to just set this down for a moment because you know, here on Always Analog, when we have the opportunity, we like to compare and contrast. So, here is a Eberhard Faber Mongol pencil. You can see the paint job is, the paint color, I should say, is different. It's a different shade. It's more yellow than gold. The Mongol word mark is in its very traditional font there. The new one is not. It's just in block letters here. And they both have the number 2. This Mongol has the model number, which is 482. Ferrule-wise, they are very similar, it looks like. I guess the Faber model looks to be crimped on as well. The gold band, and it might be hard to tell, I really, my lighting here is not ideal, and I apologize, but if you look at the gold bands, the new version is kind of a matte gold, and the Faber version is a gloss, shiny gold. Okay? And then just because I've got a Papermate version. Now, this one is different in a number of ways because it's round and not hex. I believe this is a pencil from the Philippines. This is sort of a fairly recent incarnation of Mongol, but you can see, yes, it has the Papermate logo, but they continued with the sort of recognizable Mongol font on the word mark. It's a model 480 rather than a 482, and I think that's because it's round rather than hex. And then again, we have the ferrule. and with a sort of shiny black band. Now we'll compare the graphites here in a bit, but I just wanted to compare the pencils themselves. They're all sort of different shades. The Papermate and the Faber are probably a little closer. The Papermate's slightly darker yellow. I think you could probably see that on camera. But anyways, there it is. So our focus today is on the new one, and let's get to writing. So let's give our Mongol pencil here a try. Using the factory sharpen here. Wonder where in Europe this core is made. Germany? Portugal? I wonder who is making it. They don't say. Just so you see what's going on here, point retention. It's wearing. Let's note, though, before we go any further, that you can probably hear the feedback of the pencil. Not a bad thing. It is a smooth writing pencil, and I would say on the number 2 scale, which is, as we all know, amazingly inconsistent across pencils, this leans towards the darker. I'm going to give this a quick sharpen, electrically, if you please, and we will continue writing. And something occurred to me. You don't often get a recipe here on Always Analog, but you will today. The puree Mongol soup is equal parts tomato soup and pea soup. So if you had a can of each and prepared each according to instructions and they were mixed together, you would get puree Mongol soup, which I believe was also a favorite of, they said it was a favorite of John Eberhard Faber, but I think it was also a favorite soup of President John F. Kennedy here in the United States, or so memory serves. Again, to make the leap from soup to a pencil, I don't know. It seems weird to me, but, you know, I didn't know Mr. Faber, maybe, who knows, but I always thought Mongol was derived from Mongolia, part of China, and China had a legacy of having graphite deposits, and the whole reason pencils are gold or yellow seems to harken back to the color that the significance of that color in Chinese culture. So to me, the pencil connection seems more appropriate, that it links to Mongolia or China than a bowl of soup. But you know what? A good bowl of soup is hard to beat, folks. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But here we are. I digress, but let's keep going here with our new Mongol pencil. No doubt it is cedar. And I'm getting the cedar smell. It's smooth. It has nicely rounded corners. Really, it is a comfortable pencil in the hand. There is no doubt. All right, let's smudge it up here. Okay, we do have a bit of a smudge drag. I'm anxious to try this eraser that comes with. There it is. Meh. Okay. Whatever. Not overly impressive performance. However, we know better than that. We're gonna try some of our favorite block erasers here on this graphite and see how they perform. I'm just grabbing stuff here at random. Muji. What else? Well, it erases again. Get yourself a good eraser, folks, and I think you'll find the erasability on this to be pretty good. Okay, now, here at my point, look at that. It is a softer graphite, no doubt about it. Okay. It's my second sharpen up here. So we're going to call this a Cedar Mongol new version. And let's do this. Okay. Then we're gonna this Eberhard Faber Mongol, which is a vintage one, does also appear to be cedar. So here, whoop. Let's see this one. Okay. And fairly similar. And then this is the Papermate round Mongol. You know, they're all dark. All of them. They're all dark. I would say the Papermate one is the least smooth, but the vintage EF really has a very comparable feel to this new incarnation, both in terms of its sort of scratch and smoothness and response to the paper, and I mean tone as well. So there's that. So okay, so here we have it. If you're curious, you can go to their website, again, mongolpencil.com. You can buy them on Amazon, which is where I bought mine, and try them out. I love seeing the Mongol back. I kind of wish they had used the original font, word mark. But I see with this R here, it's a registered trademark. So maybe they couldn't for some legal reason. I don't know. But other than that, it's a pretty nice pencil. And it's a cedar pencil. And if you're a fan of those things, and it's a very, I would say, a good quality pencil, you know, this might be something you would like to try. I will certainly be writing with this, and I'll give it further evaluation, but I like it. And I like you for watching. And I ask that you subscribe if you haven't done so already, because that helps me out. And share and like as well. And I'll look forward to seeing you again back here real soon on Always Analog.